Hi, let's talk about some mysteries located in Czech Republic. First, the Midnight Chase, Vranov, July 12, 1987. It was a serene summer afternoon at the Vranov Reservoir, a popular holiday spot near the Austrian border. Families lounged on the beaches, sailboats glided across the water, and the air was filled with laughter. Suddenly, the calm was shattered by a strange sight. A sleek, black, cigar-shaped object hovering silently above the lake. It had no wings, no visible propulsion, and emitted no sound, yet it hung in the sky like a predator watching its prey. Military radar picked up the anomaly, and the 51st Helicopter Regiment scrambled to me, 24 Hind gunships, to intercept. What followed was a surreal aerial chase that would become legendary among Czech UFO enthusiasts. Every time the helicopters closed in, the object accelerated at supersonic speeds, darting across the skies in impossible zigzag patterns. It streaked over Brno, then toward Jaslovsk Bohunis, and even Bratislava, covering distances in seconds that no known aircraft could achieve. Pilots reported that the craft seemed to anticipate their moves, evading radar locks and visual targeting as if it were playing a game. After nearly an hour of pursuit, the object vanished into a dense cloud formation and was gone. Military logs later went silent, and official statements were vague. To this day, no explanation has been offered. Was it a foreign experimental aircraft, a natural phenomenon, or something not of this earth? Second, the Czech Roswell, Millicent, July 12, 1991. Exactly 4 years later, on the same date, the quiet village of Millicent in central Bohemia became the stage for one of the strangest UFO encounters in Czech history. Residents reported seeing a glowing sphere of light hovering above rooftops, moving silently through the streets like a ghostly sentinel. Some claimed they saw humanoid silhouettes inside the orb, their forms shifting and shimmering as if made of liquid light. Terrified villagers watched as shadowy figures seemed to detach from the sphere and walk across rooftops, leaving behind deep, four-fingered footprints in the mud. A local pastor urged calm, calling the event a miracle, but whispers of extraterrestrial visitors spread quickly. The glowing orb eventually drifted away into the night sky, leaving behind confusion, fear, and a mystery that has never been solved. Third, echoes from the past, Jalava and Selikovis. The Czech UFO narrative stretches back decades. 1950s, Jalava, farmers, nuns, and schoolchildren reported seeing silent silver discs dancing over meadows and forests. These objects performed maneuvers far beyond the capabilities of any aircraft of the era. Sharp turns, sudden stops, and vertical ascents without sound. 1989, Selikovis. Near Prague, villagers witnessed a glowing triangular craft hovering overhead for several minutes. As it lingered, streetlights flickered and went dark, plunging the town into eerie silence. Then, without warning, the craft drifted away into the night sky, leaving behind a sense of awe and dread. Fourth, the orange orbs over Brno, 2021. In recent years, Brno became the epicenter of modern UFO sightings. Between 2021 and 2022, residents reported orange orbs gliding silently across the skyline, leaving shimmering trails like fireflies with artificial intelligence. Witnesses described an overwhelming sense of unease, not just from the beauty of the lights, but from the feeling that they were being watched. Despite surveillance footage and multiple eyewitness accounts, no official explanation has been given. Fifth, Hauska Castle, the gateway to hell. Nestled deep within the wild woodlands of northern Bohemia lies Hauska Castle, built in the late 13th century, yet unlike any fortress of its age. Rather than strategically designed walls to fend off invaders, this Gothic structure sits in the middle of nowhere, far from trade routes or water sources, with only a rain cistern and no external defenses. Even away from its stark isolation, the fortress seems purposeless, No kitchens, no signs of noble residence, and its strongest fortifications are oddly inward-facing. What truly unnerves is the legend of a bottomless pit beneath its chapel, said to be a gateway to hell, where prisoners, lowered into the darkness, came back aged decades or mad, shrieking of horrors seen below. One man reportedly aged 30 years in mere moments and died soon after. Builders are said to have intentionally built the chapel dedicated to Archangel Michael over the pit to seal off its evil. Over centuries, whispers grew. Locals swore they saw winged humanoid creatures emerging after nightfall. Others reported hearing unseen voices and cattle fleeing the area in terror. Even during World War II, rumors circulated of Nazi occult experiments conducted within its walls. Modern visitors have shared stories of sudden cold spots, shadowy figures, and soft whispers echoing through the stone halls, particularly near the hidden pit. Sixth, the ghost bride of the D1, exit 168. Travel south along the D1 motorway from Prague to Brno, just past exit 168 near Lesny Hlubok, and you'll cross into one of Czechia's most chilling legends, the ghost bride haunting the notorious Nine Crosses site. In the mid-16th century, local lore tells of a beautiful peasant girl who fell in love with a Hungarian horse merchant around 1539. Her wealthy father, however, arranged her marriage elsewhere, forcing the young woman into a loveless union. Betrayed, the rejected merchant fled, but tragedy struck. A massacre occurred during the couple's wedding in 1540, where 9 men were brutally killed, marking the site that would forever be known as Devet Krizu, 9 Crosses. Today, drivers on the D1 report seeing a white-shrouded bride stepping onto the road beneath the motorway overpass, only to vanish at the last second. Witnesses describe sudden car stalls, unexplained brakes, and accidents occurring without warning. Tabloid reports note a higher-than-average rate of fatal accidents in this stretch, and some locals firmly believe the bride's restless spirit is to blame. That is all for today. Have a nice day. If you want more videos about Bohemia, let's get those numbers up.